Good afternoon. Welcome to the news update on Independent Television. I am Ikoy Davis. The federal government has moved to end the practice of carrying electricity subsidy cost alone, announcing a framework that will spread the burden across federal, state and local governments from 2026. The Director General of the Budget Office of the Federation, Tanimu Yakubu, disclosed this on Monday in Abuja during a training and sensitization workshop for ministries, departments and agencies on the 2026 post-budget preparation process, using the Government Integrated Financial Management Information System Budget Preparation Subsystem. Yakubu said President Bola Tinubu had directed that electricity subsidy costs be made explicit, tracked, and fairly shared across tiers of government, warning that the current approach creates hidden liabilities and recurring crises in the power markets. Yakubu stressed that the policy was not designed as a sanction, but as a mechanism to align incentives across governments and support efficiency in the power sector. He told MDAs to reflect subsidy-related costs clearly in their 2026 budget submissions and avoid pushing unfunded liabilities into the electricity market. Yakubu also revealed that the President had directed a review of the fiscal responsibility framework to make fiscal rules more dynamic and enforceable, rather than abandoning them. The Office of the Head of Civil Service of the Federation on Tuesday announced the commencement of the accreditation exercise of selection of 5 new federal permanent secretaries. According to a statement released by the Director of Press at the OHCSF, Eno Olutu, the exercise followed the approval of President Bola Tinubu, noting that the process is designed to fill existing and impending vacancies for candidates originating from Adamawa, Bayelsa, Enugu, Kano, and Ogun. The eligibility criteria for the appointment of a permanent secretary are outlined in the Public Service Rules 2021. Permanent secretaries in Nigeria are appointed from among 7 directors in the Federal Civil Service, with the process overseen by the Head of Civil Service of the Federation upon approval by the President. Key rules stipulate a 4-year renewable term, maximum 8 years, strict merit-based selection, and eligibility for specific states to maintain federal character. Governor Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State on Monday visited the Onitsha main market as traders resumed business activities after the 1-week closure imposed by the state government to curb compliance with the Monday sit-at-home order in the state. The Onitsha main market, one of the largest commercial hubs in West Africa, was shut last week after many traders reportedly defied the government. Some others to open for business on Mondays, and the sit-at-home order began in 2021 in agitation for the release of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. Addressing traders during the visit, Soludo said his administration would no longer tolerate the sit-at-home culture in Anambra, insisting that Mondays are official working days and must be treated as such. Soludo added that he would personally patronize traders in the market as a demonstration of confidence and solidarity with the business community. Last month, the state government warned that salaries of civil servants who stay away from work on Mondays would be deducted, describing the sit-at-home practice as illegal and economically destructive. Reports have shown that Southeast have suffered huge economic losses due to the sit-at-home crisis. The Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress have suspended their planned protest in the Federal Capital Territory and instructed workers under the Federal Capital Territory Administration to return to their duties with immediate effect. The directive followed an overnight engagement involving labor leaders, the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike, and members of the Senate Committee on the FCT. The meeting, which began late on Monday, stressed into the early hours of Tuesday, culminating in an agreement that led to the union's decision to halt the protest action and restore normal activities across FCTA offices. The Federal High Court in Abuja on Monday ordered that 9 individuals accused of carrying out the June 13, 2025 attack on Yelwata community in Benue, an incident that left about 150 people dead, be remanded at Kuje Correctional Center. Justice Joyce Abdulmalik ordered that the suspects remain in custody while their bail applications are considered and adjourned the trial to February 26 and 27. The order followed the defendant's arraignment on an amended 57-count charge of alleged terrorism offenses, to which all 9 pleaded not guilty. Lateef Fagbemi San, Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, and Minister of Justice, who leads the prosecution, requested that the court schedule a trial date to allow evidence against the suspects to be presented. Ibrahim Angulu San, representing the first 8th and 9th defendants, noted that a bail application had been filed earlier, but sought permission to make an oral request in court. Justice Abdulmalik denied the request, instructing him to file a formal application instead, saying the practice of this court requires a formal bail filing. Justice Abdulmalik adjourned the trial to February 26 and 27. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, Niger State Command, successfully tracked and arrested a truck carrying drug substance suspected to be cannabis sativa, popularly known as India hemp. Kaduna correspondent Umar Muhammad reports that the truck was intercepted at Day by Abuja Expressway following an intelligence report.
Following a tip-off from Good Samaritans, the Niger State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency arrested 3 suspects, allegedly transporting a substance believed to be cannabis sativa. The substance was said to have been concealed in a trailer. Investigation revealed that 176 bags of the illicit drugs weighing 2,735 kilograms and concealed in the truck, equivalent to 2.7 tons, and concealed in the truck. It was, however, established that the truck had earlier transported 800 bags of flour from Lagos to Ekpoma, Edo State, during which the driver negotiated with his client to transport the substance from Ekpoma, Edo State. The suspects are being detained to pave way for further investigation. From Minna, Niger State Capital, Umar Mohammed, ITV News.
The leadership crisis rocking the Labour Party deepened on Monday as the Julius Abure-led National Working Committee rejected reconciliation moves by Abia State Governor Dr. Alex Otti, describing the efforts as insincere and premature. The Abure faction insisted that the legal battle over the party's leadership was far from over and accused Otti of being responsible for the crisis now tearing the party apart. The rejection came barely hours after Otti publicly expressed regrets over the exit of the party's former presidential candidate, Peter Obi, describing his departure as a major setback for the Labour Party. Otti spoke in Abuja during a meeting with members of the party's Board of Trustees, leaders of the National Caretaker Committee, and representatives of the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress. The meeting followed INEC's decision to recognize the Nenadi Usman-led Caretaker Committee, a move earlier described by the Abure faction as hasty, prejudicial, and aimed at undermining the party's leadership. Otti also said the party was not to participate in the forthcoming FCT Council elections and ruled out joining any external opposition coalition ahead of the 2027 general elections. You're watching the news update on Independent Television. More stories coming shortly. Stay tuned. Thanks for staying tuned. The federal government on Monday launched a through the Presidential Committee on Economic and Financial Inclusion, chaired by Vice President Kashim Shettima, is designed to equip Nigerians, particularly women and youths, with essential financial skills, investments, knowledge, and digital competences for sustainable wealth creation. Accordingly, the Office of the Vice President, through the CEFI, signed a memorandum of understanding with 6 professional bodies to jointly design the program, certification pathways, digital skills initiatives, and mentorship platforms. The professional bodies included the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, and the National Institute of Credit Administration. Others were the Chartered Risk Management Institute and the Nigerian Institute of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. The Vice President said that the signing of the MOU between the federal government and 6 of Nigeria's foremost professional bodies was more than a formal agreement. Shettima said Nigeria could reap bountifully from its demographic dividend only if young Nigerians and women are equipped with the skills and ethical grounding needed for a rapidly advancing digital economy. The new Melania Trump documentary beats box office predictions to earn more than $7 million at U.S. cinemas in its weekend opening. Melania 20 Days to History is an intimate glimpse into the First Lady's life in the days leading up to her husband's January 2025 inauguration. Melania herself is among the film's producers. It achieved the biggest opening weekend takings for a non-fiction feature in the last decade, according to Deadline. Melania claimed that the film has been loved by all, citing a cinema score rating it had received in a survey of those who had gone to see it. The film follows the U.S. First Lady and reportedly became the most expensive documentary ever when Amazon spent $40 million on the rights and a further $35 million on marketing, although it was expected to generate in the region of $5 million in its first weekend, but its actual takings are a huge start for a documentary. And on to sports. Atletico Madrid have completed the signing of Nigerian international Ademola Lookman from Atlanta, with the forward committing to a 4-year deal that runs until 30 June 2030. His career has taken him across the Premier League and Bundesliga, featuring for Everton, RB, Fulham, and Leicester City before his move to Atlanta in the summer of 2022. At Atlanta, Lookman enjoyed the most prolific period of the career. He made 137 appearances, scoring 55 goals and providing 27 assists, and was instrumental to the club historic 2023-2024 UEFA Europa League triumph. In the final against Bayer, he scored a remarkable hat-trick in a 3-0 victory, handing the German side their only defeat of the season and securing Atlanta's first ever continental trophy. In 2024, he was named African Footballer of the Year and was also the only African player on the men's Ballon d'Or shortlist, that year finishing 14th. And this is the much we can take on the news updates at 12. Thank you so much for listening. I am Ikhoi Davis. Good afternoon.
ITV, certainly the best.